Hello, welcome to my website. My name is Andrea and this is my e-portfolio for the UBC MED program. This video will guide you through the purpose, navigation, and theory behind my e-portfolio design. Through this video, I will explain my reasoning for including each artifact, show you how to access them, and briefly discuss the theories behind them. We were encouraged to use a metaphor to aid us in our structure of our e-portfolios and artifacts. I chose the metaphor of going on a backpacking trip. My favorite way to travel is with a backpack and an open mind. This allows my adventures to be unique and transformative. Before we get started, let me explain the basic navigation of my website. At the bottom of each page, there are buttons to the previous page, the home page, and the next page. These buttons will let you explore my e-portfolio in any direction you choose. No passport required. This reflects the sense of adventure found in my metaphor. As you explore, you will be directing your own journey through my pages. Further, each embedded artifact can be viewed by clicking on the bottom corner. This will make it larger or in its own window. Okay, let's get our adventure started. On my homepage, you can find a little about me, the objectives for my e-portfolio, and a breakdown of my metaphor. My purpose for this project was to take time to reflect and consolidate my learning. In line with constructivist theories, I plan to use my past knowledge from the program to create an e-portfolio to reflect my learning and understanding of the courses I took. Also on my homepage are my objectives and audience description, which you can read if you are interested. Moving on to the first part of my e-portfolio, packing. Before any great trip, you must pack the essentials. In the case of the MET program, these were the skills I packed with me as the program progressed. My first artifact was a research proposal for ETEC 500. This proposal was a study to examine the effects of math teachers' anxiety on the learners in elementary classrooms. The proposal considered both constructivist and behaviorist theories over the course of the semester. I increased my understanding of research in educational background. I had only had science experience, so this was quite new to me. It was the first time I had looked at qualitative data instead of quantitative data. I used this understanding in the courses to follow when reading and discussing theories and research being covered. Continuing on our journey is the artifact for information processing. This was a group project which investigated the different ideas, theories, and technologies that supported information processing. Our aim was to create a site that reflected the different struggles students have when trying to process large amounts of information without being given adequate time or structure. To see this artifact, click this link here. The final artifact and most important skill in the backpack was the LMS creation. During this project, we independently created an online course using a learning management system. It was the first time I had been given theories to evaluate learning management systems. Also, it became clear how difficult it was to build culture and in-depth assessment with online courses. This gave me a greater respect for the MET courses and new insights from my own teaching practice, which I will talk about in my reflections. I included a digital story here from my course because the course can't be accessed unless you have the password. Every great trip has a detour, something that does not go according to plan. We will take a quick detour now to look at them. The MET journey had a few detours for me, but I chose to represent 3 of them here. I took 2 courses and 1 professional development course outside the MET program during my time at UBC. The courses covered teaching home economics, teaching students with autism, and becoming a creativity, activity, and service coordinator in an IB school. More about these courses and their content can be found on my page. These courses gave me the opportunity to further develop my teaching practice and apply my technology knowledge to new contexts. I used my MET skills to create video projects and different websites, giving me the opportunity to see my learning in action. As a CAS coordinator in a school, I'm responsible for organizing volunteer opportunities for our students. And I used my knowledge of VideoScribe, which I gained in a previous course, to create a video to introduce what CAS is and how to find a CAS experience. I also took a course about teaching home economics. As a science teacher, I was interested in how I could relate science and food, because everybody loves food. So during this program, I made a couple of different websites and a video. I've chosen to include a video about making a roux. It showed me just how difficult it is to make an educational video that is not too long, but has all of the required information needed in order to complete a skill. It was a lot of fun to make though, and maybe I'll do my second career as an online chef. Finally, I included an artifact about addressing problem behavior. This course was an excellent course to add to my repertoire of knowledge. It covered teaching students with autism and some strategies and suggestions to support them in my classroom. I included a behavioral program that I designed based on the recent research and some strategies for a student to be more successful in my learning environment. Now on to the next section, cultural collisions. As you can see in the image I chose from Sri Lanka, not every culture approaches things in the same way. Cows on a beach are not the way most people picture a relaxing day at the beach, but they do provide great insight into the local culture, traditions, and practices of the Sri Lankan people. The MET program had many cultural collisions, times when you had to approach things with a social learning approach, where you had to take time to observe and learn without direct reinforcement. Additionally, these collisions provided an opportunity to evaluate one's prior knowledge and keep an open mind, building on what you already understood about online learning and changing some of your misconceptions. For this section, I chose to include a project about an ever-growing digital divide, cyberbullying, and teaching controversial issues using media. These three artifacts reflect the many learning theories covered in the program. The digital divide is a problem that we often forget about as the technology waves pushes forward. We forget to consider how our use of technology is affecting others. The digital divide and e-waste are issues that as technology consumers we need to consider and address in order to ensure that our students are being responsible global citizens. This artifact is a closer look at the digital divide in Nairobi and the difference people have in accessing online education. Even though technology is not reaching some areas of the world, as seen in this case study, it is reaching into some previously sacred areas. Cyberbullying is a major problem we now face as a society, not just in our schools, but in our communities. Our current online activities can be dangerous because bullies are provided with the anonymity the internet affords them. This video describes some of the issues and solutions to the cyberbullying problem. It's based on the most recent research and helps students find skills to support each other on the internet. Finally, in this cultural section, I included a media study. This project was to investigate how to teach controversial issues. Using many of the learning theories covered in the program, we developed learning activities around the Mindy project. Lucky for us, media provides infinitely many controversial issues to present and opportunities to discuss them. Through these discussions, we can have fewer collisions and more cultural understanding. Please feel free to use my Mindy project guide as part of your Planning 10 program. After every great adventure, there's a desire for another adventure. The MET program is no different. As I move forward from this program, I look forward to applying my new skills and knowledge to my teaching practice. To represent this desire for my learning to continue, I included a virtual ethnograph. This project encouraged me to engage with the technology students are using and consider the things they are learning. Maybe they're learning more than I realized. It showed me that I have to keep up with what is happening online with my students if I want to understand the world they are living in and the world I'm preparing them for. I hope to continue being an inquirer and explore the online world they live in as my career continues. This project was about Minecraft. Minecraft was a game that I didn't see any value in until I did more exploring. But there is an intense cultural structure that students follow when they play with Minecraft that actually helps them in their day-to-day interactions. Finally, I have included the ePortfolio rubric, which I have created based on the theories of ETEC 590 to represent my continued learning. This is how I will evaluate my ePortfolio, and from this, I hope to grow and develop further as a teacher. Thank you for coming with me through this guided tour. I'm happy to have shared my adventure with you.